Good evening, Arun Mohan sir. Our theme is ready. Let's start,
Okay, sir.
please.
So we are having the 164th web training series today. So let me welcome our moderator of the day, Geeta ma'am. So let me invite our intelligent AI to officially invite our respected moderator. So let's turn him on. Here we go.
Hey there, it's me Jarvis again. Good evening to all. I welcome all the dignified participants to the 164th web training series of CBSE Bharat Sahodaya. Have you ever seen our resource person inviting a moderator? That's what you all are going to see now. I, Jarvis, turning my magic on. Importing all preferences from home interface. Time for action. Welcome all again. Now it's time to invite today's moderator, Ms. Geeta Shivakumar. Geeta Shivakumar has 15 years of teaching experience. She has done double masters in economics and history. She is a topper in MA Economics Pune University and stood first in B.Ed, Spicer College, Pune, and well as in grade 12. Ms. Geeta has participated in various cultural activities during her school and college days. She had been a national level kabaddi player. As a social science teacher, she firmly believes that social science is the most important subject which deals with day-to-day life. She is known for her innovative ideas and classroom management skills. Geeta Shivakumar is a core member of the MUN committee for Amanora School and has trained students to participate in it, and most of the students have won laurels for the same. Ms. Geeta has achieved lots of laurels and awards not only in Amanora School but at state and national levels too. She has won the Best Teachers Award from INSC Institute of Scholars Pan-India Award. She has also won Sushma Swaraj Women Icon Award in 2022. She has received Asian Education Awards 2023 as an innovative teacher in economics. At present, she is working with Amanora School, Pune as a teacher lead for grade 10. She strongly believes that learning never ends, it's a continuous process. Here I proudly and wholeheartedly invite you to moderate this grand session. Please, ma'am. Over to you.
A warm welcome to our moderator, Geeta ma'am. Please over to you, ma'am.
You're on mute, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, AI. Nowadays, the AI has changed the system of introducing the moderator. Thank you so much, Arun sir, for your kind words, humbly, truly humbled. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young, quoted by Henry Ford. A very good evening to each and everyone present over here. Before we begin the session, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Abdul Salam and BTech for giving me this coveted opportunity. I also extend my very warm welcome to all the participants. It is indeed a pleasure to have each one of you as an important part of the webinar, as an embark together of this fruitful journey of discussion on challenges in education 4.0. This is our 164th web training series. Education builds the foundation of society and contributes to the holistic growth of individual and society at large. It opens up with many opportunities to explore, grow, and enhance living, along with freedom of mind and body. However, there are numerous challenges faced in education which must be addressed in order to ensure that the students will receive the best possible education. We must prioritize the proportion of access to quality education to everyone. Balance the areas like entertainment and education, adhere to evidence-based policies that improve students' outcome, use evidence-based solutions, and promote equity and justice in education systems. With the collaboration of all the stakeholders involved, we can overcome the challenges and create the necessary condition for the students to flourish in the future. Today's complex, dynamic, interconnected world presents the field of education with significant challenges in the developing competency for reasoning for complex. So, before we begin today's session, there are a few things I would like to brief you about the session. Any query during the session will be conveyed to the meeting chat box. In order to have an interactive experience, you may clear your doubts by asking questions. Kindly virtually raise your hand and wait for your name to be called out for asking the query. The participants will have the opportunity to receive the certificate only after filling up the certificate and feedback form, the link of which will be shared at the end of the session. Kindly stay connected till the end of the session. At this juncture, on behalf of us present in the webinar, I would like to thank Dr. Abdul Sir for empowering us with such an enlightening sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dr. Abdul Salam Sir, presently working as an Essentialist at the National Accreditation Board of Education and Training. The Government of India, Dr. Salam has also ended his services in the capacity of Principal of the Oxford School, Trivandrum. Dr. Salam Sir is the CBSE Resource Person, Master Trainer, CBSE Deputy Training Coordinator at Trivandrum Region, and Bharat Savodya. Sir is founder of CEO of BTAC, that is Bharat Transformist Academic Group, a well-known educator and the teaching fraternity across the globe, connecting them together to empower the nation. Sir, is indeed a pleasure to have your gracious presence, and I would request you to take over deliver the welcome address. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Geeta ma'am. Good evening, George sir, Dr. George, and Miss Beena Jacob, our Joint Secretary, CBSE Bharat Sahodaya, Mr. Arun Mohan. First of all, kudos to Arun Mohan for all the innovations and experiments on the BTech platform. Thank you, Arun sir. Keep going. Our participants, educators, very happy to connect with you again. We are at the 164th web training series ever since the pandemic. And today is a special day because we have a very prominent and eminent resource person, very strong resource person of CBSE, with whom I had a few moments of collaboration and learning, in fact. So thank you so much, Dr. George, for offering us this session, especially the topic challenges in education 4.0. Challenges in education, that's why we are here. That's the very reason we have been conducting such empowering sessions for more than 2 years, ever since the pandemic. Well, CBSE has initiated a lot of change, and there is a shift from content-based learning to competency-based learning, and the expectations from the stakeholders are much different and higher. As a result, we have challenges to face on the side of teachers and students as well as parents. So we have an opportunity to listen to and interact. I request each participant to clear your doubts, concerns with Dr. George. We will not get him often. So make use of this opportunity fully so that we will be getting benefit from this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Dr. George. Thank you, Dr. Beena. Geeta ma'am, each and every participant, hearty welcome to 164th web training series. Thank you. Over to Geeta ma'am. You can unmute, madam.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have amongst us Veena ma'am. Ma'am is the Joint Secretary of CBSE Bharat Sayodhya. Ma'am is having vast experience in the field of education. Ma'am is the principal of NGM School, Kilimanu. Ma'am, we are honored to have your gracious presence amongst us. I request Veena ma'am to felicitate the gathering with her kind words. Veena ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Geeta Shivakumar. Hello and hi, good evening. The most respected Dr. Abdul Salam sir, CBSE Master Trainer, founder of BTAG and also the patron of Bharat Sahodaya. Our resource person of this evening, Dr. George Kolancheri sir, Mr. Arun Mohan, principals, teachers and all those who have joined us. It's always a pleasure and honor to be the part of this wonderful web series. And today on this beautiful evening, I'm overwhelmed to talk to you because the topic that we discuss here is one of the best topics that we have ever discussed. And also we have, as Salam sir said, we have an eminent, vibrant, and multi-talented personality with us, George sir. Sir, it's very nice to see you, sir, after a break. And we strongly believe that you are the right person to talk about the challenges in Education 4.0. And we all know that these challenges are not only the challenges of our country, but these are the challenges of the entire world. And of course, in this fast moving world, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. And if we all prepare ourselves to overcome the challenges that we face on the road to progress or on the road to change, surely growth is possible. And dear friends, let us all learn together about how to overcome the challenges of Education 4.0 so that let us all grow together. Happy wishes. Thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Veena ma'am, for your kind words. And definitely from this session, we are going to learn a lot from sir. To all the educators to discuss about more on this topic, challenges in education 4.0, we have amongst us Professor Dr. George Kolancheri. Sir has been academician for more than 25 years with PhD in teaching methodology, MA in English, B.Ed. Not only this much, sir has also done MBA in human resource management, MSc in applied psychology, LLB with administrative law, diploma at TESOL UK and CELTA from Cambridge University UK. Sir has also worked as a dean and professor at Purdue University USA affiliated Oman till 2017. Sir is CBSE resource person. Sir has served at various administrative positions such as Dean, Principal, Director of Academic Programs, Research Committee. Sir is a research Sir is in a Research Committee Chairperson, PhD External Examiner, etc. in India and abroad. To his credit, not only this much, Sir has also have many international research publication and sir has presented his papers at international conferences in Malaysia, US, UAE, Philippines, India, Oman, etc. Sir is the founder and editor-in-chief of Global India-Oriented Research Journal, an international peer-reviewed research journal. Currently, sir is working with Senate Public School, Chalakuti, Trishul, Kerala. It will not be wrong if I say sir is like an ocean of knowledge. And with such a vast knowledge, we are truly to have you today, sir, for the session. On behalf of everyone present here, I welcome you, sir, and request you to take over the proceedings for the evening. Over to you, sir.
Dear respected Abdul Salam sir, my dear friend, Geeta ma'am, Beena ma'am, who welcomed everyone to this session, and one who is behind the technical hurdles, Mr. Arun Mohan sir, and all dear academicians. Very good evening to each and every one. As you know, Sant Kabir Das ji ने उनके दोहे में ये कहा है. It's in Hindi, you might be able to understand. पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जग मुआ, पंडित भया न कोई, ढाई आखर प्रेम का पढ़े सो पंडित कोई. You have heard about it. Someone who reads a book cannot be called as a scholar, but a person who knows the meaning of the word love is the scholar. Dhai akshar, pyar or prem, it is known as dhai akshar. It is 2.5 letters. So we are here to have a good fraternity established by Abdul Salam sir. And the intention behind having this platform is to share our knowledge and experience. You might have heard the longest research that took place on the topic of happiness. It was held in Harvard University in the Adult Development Department. And there is a professor called Robert Waldinger, who is a psychiatrist as well as a psychoanalyst. In his TED talk, he mentioned the research went on for 85 years, which started in 1938. 1,000 people were under observation during this period. And the research was based on the concept, what makes people happy in their life? Is it wealth? Is it their profession? Or is it their vacation to different rich countries? Finally, the conclusion came to an end, saying that it's nothing but relationship with people. This is what makes people happy. This is the scientific landing of the conclusion of a research. And the research concludes with 3 terms. Number 1, having close relationships. Number 2, the quality of relationships. And the third one, stable relationships. When you are having these 3 aspects of relationships, that makes a human being happy in his world. Why I told you this example, this anecdote? It's because BTAG is having a fraternity where relationship is maintained, close relationship, quality relationship, and stable relationship. And that is how people, those who come on this platform, remain happy. I noticed by 7 p.m., it was full with the 300 academicians. Wonderful. Hats off to Abdul Salam, one who is the person behind. So as you know, today's topic is Challenges in Education 4.0. A wonderful topic. We are all educationists. And a statement that caught my attention was told by Beena ma'am in her welcome note. She told, change is inevitable, whereas growth is optional. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. We can decide whether we want to change or we don't want to change. Let me just share my screen. Please wait. Yes. Is my screen visible? Can I get a yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Very
sir.
much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, changes in education, challenges in education, the recent developments in education. What are the session goals when we spend our 1 hour or 1.5 hours? We will review various realms of education with a special emphasis on education 4.0. We will develop an understanding of the 21st century learning skills in association with education 4.0. We will recognize the features of Gen X and Gen Z and analyze the challenges facing education. This is a familiar image for you. What we call is Bloom's Taxonomy. And it's written Bloom's Taxonomy Revised. There is only one difference from the original one to the revised one. The last point. First one, remembering same, understanding same, applying same, analyzing same, evaluating same, creating. Now, in the old one, it was creating first, then evaluate, create something new. But in the revised version, after evaluating all the aspects, we come to create something, synthesis. To reach this level, we need to know what are the hurdles, where are we now? Before talking about the challenges, we need to know where are we now, what's our background. This is a misconception in the minds of the teachers. Learners are the same as they have always been. The same methods that worked for me when I was student will work for my students now. You know, one of the earlier proponents of experiential learning, John Dewey, once said, if you teach today's students like yesterday, you will be robbing them of their tomorrows. That means we need to update ourselves. We need to know what are the changes that's happening. For that, I would like to take you to education 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. And the Americans will introduce it as 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. Whatever is that, we are going to see what's first Education 1.0. This is the first version, which is known as an essentialist education. 3 R's were emphasized in education 1.0. First one, receiving; second one, responding; and third one, regurgitation. So the students receive the knowledge, they respond to the knowledge, then they reproduce or they pour out the knowledge that they get. Small number of students were taught with the specific skills through specific methods. A variety of methods were not available at that time. And the knowledge was transferred between teacher and student. But when we moved to education 2.0, the scenario changed. From essentialist education, we moved to a humanistic education. Here what happened? Education is for everyone. A huge number of learners came to learn, especially under open sources. And 3 C's were rooted. The first one, communicating; second one, contributing; and third one, collaborating. So here we can see the collaboration of people in learning. So communication was taken. Whatever knowledge was there, it was contributed to the people, and a teamwork. So teachers' role from the transfer of knowledge changed to a different level. That means from a line between teacher and student, it moved to a circle connecting every learner and every resource. Now we move to a comparison between education 1.0 and education 2.0. Education 1.0, the teacher was the authoritarian, student is the passive recipient, teacher-centered system was there, and technology is forbidden in the classroom. Education 1.0. When that scenario changed, education 2.0, communication and collaboration are starting to grow. Exam-based approach was done. An underestimated student-centered approach was there. It was talked out, but it was not applied. And we were talking about only teaching, whereas from teaching, we had to move to learning. Now we come to education 3.0. It's a gradual progress of educational scenario in the country or in the world. Now education 3.0. What's it? It's a user-generated education. First one, realistic. Second one, humanistic. Third one, user-generated education. And it was conducted or it was organized basing the needs of every individual student. That's why we call it user-generated education. Again, there are 3 C's, but here these 3's are different from the previous one. Connecting, creating something new, and construct something. So connect, create something, and construct. Freedom and flexibility to build their own learning journey to align with their own goals was given. So in education 3.0, when compared to education 1.0 and 2, more emphasis was given to the student-tailored methodology or student-customized method. And as you know, today's learners are totally different. In 2001, Digital Immigrants version, Mark Prensky told these people are digital natives, whereas we people are digital immigrants. And this generation think and process information fundamentally differently from their predecessors. And was it the end of the journey? Education 3.0. We know artificial intelligence was developed. Coding was introduced to the world. The summative tests were replaced with the micro-credentials. And the technology led to new possibilities, new ways of thinking, divergent method of thinking. Crystallized intelligence and fluid intelligence were introduced to the world by Raymond Cattell. And this thought process led to next one, that is Education 4.0. Now I would like to connect between Education 1.0 to 3.0 to get you an idea about the progress it has made. The number of internet users in 2005 was 1 billion. Within 6 years, it increased to 2.21 billion. And after 5 years, it reached 3.5 billion. Now, when we are in 2023, the data reveals that 5.18 billion internet users are there all over the world, which amounts to 65% of the global population. What are the highlights in Education 4.0? New learning and teaching methods were introduced. Innovative solutions to the current and future challenges in the society were found. ICT was integrated for further development, and a lot of changes happened. Now let's see a comparison between Education 3.0 and Education 4.0. Education 3.0, it was student-centered approach. So previously in the beginning, it was teacher-centered approach. From there, we slowly moved to student-centered approach. Whereas in Education 4.0, we can see co-creation and innovation is the center. Dear admissions, dear teachers, from teacher-centered, we move to student-centered. And now it's a time where co-creation should happen. Innovation in the field of teaching should take place. And we are the pioneers for that. In Education 3.0, the teacher is transformed into a coordinator or facilitator, advisor, learner, and practice guide, etc. The student is researching there. Flipped classroom method was applied. One major important thing is that lesson plans are now called learning plans. Our prime focus was on teaching before, whereas it has been transferred to learning. And Education 4.0, what happens? Learning is done at home or outside school, while in school students develop skills. Outside, they don't get an opportunity to develop their skills, but they learn a lot. Another one, learning plans from Education 3.0 is now called as creativity plans, where co-creation and innovation takes place in our classroom. Continuous evolution and innovation. It's an image. You can see a graphic there on right top. The famous age-old anecdote. There are aspects written. Teaching is done in both, yes. But in education 1.0, what happens? It was lecture-based. Teacher spoke to student. Still, teaching was done. But when we reach education 4.0, it's a discussion-based. Teacher to student and students to students. When we speak about result, what happened? Passive learning attitude was found in the student. And there was very low engagement of the students in the teaching learning process. Whereas in the current scenario, we can see the high engagement, active learning attitude. When we look back to education 1.0, we can see one size fits all, means the teacher is having only one teaching methodology. The teacher is going to the class and display the method of teaching whatever she or he has and comes back. Whereas in education 4.0, personalized education, individualized, customized method of teaching, student tailored. If this doesn't take place, it's not the problem of education 4.0, but it's the problem of the teachers who are in the class, the principals who are making strategies and who are implementing it in the school. So likewise, you can see a comparison between education 1.0 to education 4.0. How many of your classrooms look like this? I think nowadays, many schools have developed the infrastructure. Technology-based education is being focused. And it really describes, this is an underlined sentence. Education 4.0 really describes the learning preference of the Generation Z students. Now we need to know which are the three important generations of students. Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. Gen X starts from 1965 to 1980, means the people who are currently coming in the span of 43 to 58 years. Millennials are those people who were born between 1981 to 1996, aging 27 to 42. And Gen Z is 97 and afterwards. One important thing we want to notice here is that the students whom we are dealing with belong to Gen Z. Within the age group of 11 to 26. Normally we are having the children up to 17 or 18 years of age. And most of the teachers or principals belong to Gen X, between the age of 43 and 58. If we come to know about the chief characteristics of Gen X and Gen Z, it will be easy for us to understand the challenges facing education. First, let's see Gen Z students, the students who are there in our schools currently, maybe from class 5 to class 12, or even after that. They are money-driven and ambitious. You can see a lot of students After completing their graduation, they are joining for a job. And they are very much ambitious about their career. They love to travel. They are prone to anxiety. They are shrewd consumers. When they purchase something, they make sure that the quality is met. And they are our first digital natives. Diversity is their norm. They want to try out a variety of methods. They use social media in a unique way, not as our generation used or use currently. They've got their own method. They are avid gamers. So we know the characteristics of our students right now. What about we ourselves? What are the chief characteristics? We are the people with diversity, challenge. We are ready to take up challenges. We are responsible people, very honest, and we have the creative input in us. We value freedom and responsibility and try to overcome challenges on our own. The connection between Gen X and Gen Z is that we are the best teachers to teach Gen Z. As it was told, change is inevitable. Whether we are ready for it or not, things will change. The system will change. The world will change. Now, for us, whether we are ready to change ourselves, whether we are ready to grow is optional. So never think that we are not fit to teach Gen Z. No, we are fit because we possess these characteristics. Now we come to the topic, challenges facing education. We saw the history or the gradual development of education from education 1.0 to 1 or to 4.0. We also saw that education 4.0 describes and suits to the requirements of Gen Z. Now, what are the challenges facing education? Very simple. Access to quality education. How prepared are we to deliver quality education to our students? We talk about professional development, but as an educator, how much pain do I take to equip myself so as to provide quality education to my students? Especially to provide quality education for the underprivileged communities, whether the school is taking any effort. Another very important challenge is the teacher shortage. I'm sure principals will be attending this session. There will be management representatives. When we conduct an interview for a particular subject, there will be 10 or 15 candidates. And we should remember, when we receive 50 or 100 CVs, we do the initial scanning. Then we select 10 or 15 candidates. And from there, after the written test, or after the interview, or after the demo, we call them for personal interview. And there are occasions where we find it very difficult to get qualified teachers. And shortage of qualified teachers lead to overcrowded classrooms and compromised education because we are unable to provide quality education without any compromise. It's a challenge today. And who can take up this challenge? How will we resolve this challenge? We can resolve it by upskilling us, upskilling, by upgrading ourselves, by updating ourselves from where we stand today. Another challenge that we face today is technological changes. We know during the pandemic, offline classes were not possible. And we were forced to conduct online classes. We were forced to learn how to operate Microsoft Teams, how to operate WebEx, how to teach through Zoom platform, how to use Google Meet. And we made deliberate attempt and we were successful. But once the offline class started, are we taking the pain to make my classroom stress-free, to make it a joyful experience for our students? If not, I'll be updated only if I take deliberate. Curriculum adaptation. Curriculums must be updated with necessary education for the modern world. As you know, when we talk about the student achievement areas, the first one is what to teach, how to teach, where to teach, and whom to teach. There are 4 areas of student achievement. First one, what to teach. That refers to curriculum. It should be updated according to the requirements of the time. Second area of student achievement, how to teach. That is the major role entrusted to the teacher. And the third one is where to teach. The infrastructure of the school is very important for the student achievement. And the fourth one is whom to teach, the characteristics of students. That means the family background of the children, where they are coming from, what are the characteristics of their parents, the area they are living in. Next challenge facing education is mental health concerns, especially after COVID. The children are having a lot of issues. I'm an applied psychologist and I am a member of CBSE tele-counseling from Delhi. And we receive calls on and off. And we talk to the students. The students are facing various mental issues such as anxiety syndrome, depression, traumas. These are different from the learning disabilities. Personalized learning. Personalized learning is increasingly important to meet individual learning style. So a teacher has to design his or her materials according to the requirements of the students. So one code fit for all will not work here. Then standardized testing is again another challenge for us. Why? Because it has negative impacts on student learning and teacher autonomy. Students with special needs, as we know, all students are not having the same capability. They are having different capacity. And if the teacher is unable to identify the special requirements of the students, it's going to be a failure, utter failure. Then funding concerns. We know how the school is struggling for constructing the infrastructure. Now, I would like to show you a short video. Audio is actually not required. You can just watch it. And it's a beautiful video. Please do. Then I'll continue.
No audio, sir. George, sir.
Kalam sir, are you able to see it?
We can see, but no audio.
Okay, that's fine. Audio is not required, sir. No
Okay.
problem at all. From the graphics, we can. Yes, a student with a lot of limitations. Sometimes we underestimate the caliber of the student. Still, student, one who wins is one who is practical in life. They are successful. This is what we observe. And when we talk about the 21st century skills, because education 4.0 leads to the successful implementation of 21st century skills. There are three key 21st century skills. We know about it. One is learning skill, second to literacy, and third one, life skill. Now, let's see one by one. What are the learning skills? Number one, critical thinking. Sometimes we are unable to understand the meaning of the term critical thinking. Critical thinking is nothing but to observe something from a different perspective, to see various options to solve an issue, to think in a different dimension about a topic. Then creativity, communication skill, collaboration. The people who don't have the quality or the skill of collaboration fail in their family life as well as professional life. It's very much important to inculcate these skills in our students. Now, one important aspect that we forget to remember is we always tell the students need to have 21st century skills. What about us? Do we possess these skills? If not, first we need to update ourselves. We need to have critical thinking skill. We need to have a good communication. Now, what is a good communication skill? Who is a good communicator? A person who can hold the listener in a positive note till the end of the conversation. He is a good communicator. And collaborator, a person who can collaborate with everyone, being a team player. Then we talk about literacy skills. Again, another important skill under 21st century skills associated with Education 4.0. It's a challenge for us. Information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy are very much important. Life skills, self-awareness. We usually go for a SWOT analysis because if I don't know about my strengths, I won't be able to give my maximum to the society. If I know my limitations, only then I can improve my areas for improvement. Then taking up initiative, having leadership quality. What is leadership quality? Who is a good leader? A good leader is one who can influence the behavior of other people. It's not the definition given by me, but it's given by John Calvin Maxwell. He told, leadership is the ability to influence the behavior of others. And being a teacher or an educationist, we need to have the ability to influence the behavior of our students. A student who is lazy, we should be able to turn that student into an enthusiastic student. A student who is very passive, we should be able to turn by influencing the behavior of the student into an active student. Flexibility is required in our life depending on the situations. 3 more points. We are coming to the conclusion within 5 minutes. If these 3 things are there, practically speaking, our students will be fit for this century. Number 1, instill self-confidence in our students. The problem with our students is they may not be getting a lot of chances, opportunities are less, or they are not getting the opportunities to build up self-confidence. If you are able to instill confidence in them, that will be the first thing. And second thing they need to have is basic mathematics in their day-to-day life. We know NEP 2020 stresses on the point that is foundational literacy and numeracy, FLN. It's exactly true. And the third thing that we have to provide to our student is the capacity to express himself or herself well in any language. I was listening to a district collector and IAS officer called Krishna Teja. He mentioned that he failed 3 times in the Indian Civil Service exam. When he asked his friends about it, they told one needs to be very much clear about his communication, what he wants to speak and he or she should be able to communicate the concept in a very clear language to the other person. And he tells, I trained myself under the guidance of another person, and I was able to succeed in my Indian Civil Service exam, ICS. So we should equip our children by giving the ability to express themselves in any language, let it be any mother tongue or English. One more small work we will show you. See, all these three things lead to a teamwork, and let's see. Yes. So how a teamwork succeeds when no one interferes into others' job, the work succeeds. In a healthy atmosphere, teachers take the responsibility to guide their children. Now, the word guide is very important. Every academician should understand it has got three meanings. Guide means to teach, to train, and to discipline. These are the three connotations and denotations of the word guide. See the Greek word. And what does it mean? The word teaching, putting into the mind. And train means nurture or pruning someone. Discipline means train the children to obey the rules or code of behavior. So these are three important tasks as well as challenges of the teachers when we speak about Education 4.0. Number one, to teach. Always we should remember teaching has got the byproduct learning. If my teaching does not meet the learning outcomes, my teaching is a waste. So teaching means putting into the mind. It should enter the mind of the student. Number two, I should train the children by pruning the unwanted parts. As a gardener prunes a rose plant to get new, fresh, and more flowers. Then it's the teacher's responsibility to discipline a student. During their school time, the children should be trained to obey rules. A great English poet, W.B. Yeats, told, education is not the filling of a pot, but the lighting of a fire. We as teachers, we as educationists, we are there to light a fire. Here at this moment, we should think, how should I be remembered after my career or during my career or at the end of my career. Can you tell me who is a Swedish scientist with 255 patent rights? You can jot it down in the chat box if you wish to. Who is the Swedish scientist who is very popular and his invention is very famous? He is none other than Alfred Nobel. You know, after he invented dynamite, he made a huge amount of money by selling arms and ammunitions to different countries in the world. And it was at the zenith of his richness. He happened to travel in 1888 to France with his brother. And they met with an accident and his brother passed away. The French journalists reported on the first page of the newspaper on the next day, Alfred Nobel, the salesman of death, passed away. Alfred Nobel, the salesman of death, passed away. And Alfred Nobel happened to read this headline the very next day. He was shocked to see not that he passed away, but he was shocked to see the adjective or the expression that is used. Alfred Nobel, salesman of death. He was disturbed. He thought, is it like this? The people are going to remember me after my death. And there he comes to a strong determination and he contributes a huge amount, say $250 million US. And he establishes the Nobel Foundation to honor and respect the best people who contribute to the humanity in different fields. And today, if you check, you will see that Alfred Nobel is known as one of the best philanthropists in the world. How? Because when he realized that this is not the way I should be remembered by the world, he made a very clear strategy. He set his goal and he moved towards that. Dear teachers, dear friends, how should I be remembered after my retirement? Will I be able to put a signature in the hearts of my mind? And as we know, if I have to be known as an extraordinary teacher, my effort also should be extraordinary. And for that, I need to work hard. And in the Ode to West Wind, P.B. Shelley says, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? We had Corona period. We survived, that time passed. Now we are in a very safe period of education compared to the past. And we need to contribute the best things to the humanity. Whenever we are working, there is a word, there is a phrase called teach like a pirate. Pirates are usually daring, adventurous. They explore the uncharted territories. And a teacher should be like that. And educationists should be like that. We should find out different methodologies to equip my students face the harsh realities of 21st century, to equip them with 21st century skills. And for that, we as educationists need to have the 21st centuries. Let's put our efforts and let's make ourselves well equipped and let's contribute the maximum to the humanity as we are the nation builders. And this is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much. Thanks to our dear Abdul Salam sir and each and every person who is behind this platform and all my friends who attended this session without leaving for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Dr. George deserves a huge round of applause, in fact. Thank you so much, sir. Geeta ma'am, are you there? Miss Geeta, you have to unmute. You are a co-host, you can unmute now. Okay. I think you have left and joined again. Okay, now you can. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Had added one of the intellectual pursuits to our esteemed participants. However, like if any participant is having any query, please raise your hand virtually. If anyone is having any query, please raise your hand virtually. Meantime, I just want to tell you, sir, the session was so wonderful that we have learned from education 1.0 to 4.0, and each and every segment was clear that what was the difference between 1.0 to 4.0. And definitely all the participants all the educators will definitely make sure that they will be using 4.0, which is very, very important, which is ICT integration. So integration with ICT is one of the important skill which we all educator needs to learn. And in the beginning also, we have seen that Dr. Abdul Salam sir has already started with AI introduction, which means that integration of ICT and AI is very, very important. Participants, the floor is open for any questions and the queries. Please raise your hand virtually if you have any questions.
I think it was self-explanatory.
Yes, it was so nice that everyone explained, because as I said, sir has cleared from the beginning recap of the 1.0 to 4.0. So definitely there is no query. Any participant would like to ask any question? Or sir, should I proceed if there is no question?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay, so there is no question. It means that the explanation done by Dr. George sir is self-explanatory, as correctly said by Dr. Salam sir. But whatever, sir, today it was a great indeed learning from you that education, how as an educator we need to change ourselves and we need to change our thinking. I would like to extend our gratitude and appreciation to Professor Dr. George for revealing with us the boundless discover. Definitely, I, Geeta Shivkumar, along with the CBSE Bharat Sayodhya, would like to thank Professor Dr. George sir once again with his gracious presence and enriching experience. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Abdul Salam sir for all open-handed support and guidance to the teaching fraternity. Thank you so much, sir, for having you present and a great opportunity one by one, the session what you are giving every day. Also, a big thanks to the technical team and Arun Mohan sir for yet one other a flawless execution of today's session. And most importantly, thank you all the participants for your enthusiasm. I sincerely hope that you must have earned the privilege of the time, and definitely you are going with a lot of knowledge. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Geeta ma'am, for the gracious presence and your help. Dr. George, it felt, it has entered abruptly, because I expected something more to, some more time to listen to you, because we won't get that much, opportunity often. Thank you so much. More than informative, it was thought-provoking and inspiring session, I should say. and a lot of comments, congratulations can be seen in the chat box. So for your wonderful effort and delivery of the knowledge you have that you have shared with us is so thought-provoking, and a lot of takeaways from, as Geeta Madam said, from the beginning till the present day, how the comparison goes, how the learning goes. So we would request you to come on this platform often and share your expertise and experience with us, because we are in the learning process. People like you are the guide in its true sense. So please guide us often. Your service is much appreciated and required for the Gen Z teachers as well as students. So thank you so much, Dr. George, and each and every participant. My friend Mr. Mamu Master also has joined from Zeal School, Kannur. Mamu sir, thank you for joining, and all we, as Dr. Georgia said, we have very regular attendees. If the 300 participants join, they are very much regular. I can tell them by their names. So thank you so much, each and everyone who joined and shares their experience, and also they in the learning process they have become a part and parcel of it. So thank you so much, each and everyone. Keep connected. We will be coming with more and more learning experiences, so that we can build a very stronger nation. So thank you so much, Dr. George, and each and everyone. Thank you, Geeta ma'am, Arun Mohan sir, Beena ma'am. Beena ma'am, are you there?
Yes,
Beena
sir, I'm
ma'am?
here.
Yeah, would you like to sum up?
Oh, George, sir. It's really a wonderful gift that you have given to this BTAG, and a big salute to you, sir. I was actually waiting for Salam sir to ask me to say something. Salam sir, really, really thank you for choosing the right person. George sir, it was so wonderful, each and every point that you have shared, it's so clear, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And good night, sir.
Good night.
May God bless you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Salam sir. Thank you, Geeta ma'am. Thanks to everyone. Abba ma'am, hi. Yes. Okay, thank you. Good night. Right, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Abdul sir. Thank you, sir. Good night.